Which is the hottest job in enterprise software right now? It's the forward deployed engineer. Job postings for forward deployed engineers grew 729% in a single year. AWS committed $1 billion to a new forward deployed engineering effort. OpenAI, Anthropic, Databricks, Google Cloud, and Salesforce are all building the function. So what is it, and why does it suddenly matter? Start with the job itself. A forward deployed engineer is a product-minded engineer who embeds inside a customer's environment after the sale. Their job is to build custom workflows on top of the core product, turning complex capability into real customer value, and to bring what they learn in the field back to engineering. Let's make that clearer by contrasting with some roles you already know. Take a traditional B2B SaaS company. Let's consider 3 common roles. First, the software engineer. They sit outside the customer lifecycle, building features from the product roadmap, and they write production code. Second, the implementation engineer. They come in after the sale and work directly with the customer. They do configuration, integrations, data migrations, scripting. But it's always for a well-defined product, and they don't write production code. And third, the product manager. They decide what gets built, prioritizing the roadmap, staying close to customers and the market, owning ROI, and staying connected to leadership. 3 familiar roles, 3 very different jobs. Now, the forward deployed engineer borrows from all 3. Like the software engineer, they write production code. Like the implementation engineer, they build solutions inside the customer's world. And like the product manager, they identify what the customer actually needs and own the outcome. But here's the part that separates the FDE from all 3. They solve the immediate problem, then extract what can scale. Solve this customer and solve the next 10 customers with the same problem. So no, this is not consulting or a custom software dev shop. The goal is always productization, building reusable, scalable software. So that's the role. But why has it suddenly become the hottest job? For 20 years, SaaS worked a certain way. You built a product with a defined feature set and sold it to customers with well-understood use cases. Ship the right features, adoption follows. The product's capability was the constraint. Use cases and adoption were clear. AI flipped that. A product can have broad capabilities. Answer questions, read documents, summarize, extract, transcribe. The list keeps going. The use cases are endless. The bottleneck moved to customer adoption. It's no longer, can the product do this? It's, can this customer actually operationalize it? And that question is hard. Every customer has different data, different systems, different security constraints, different workflows. Getting enterprise software into production is messy, but that part isn't new. The new part is what comes after the plumbing, turning capability into value. Let's consider an example. Say Frontier Lab offers an AI platform. A customer signs a 7-figure contract, rolls it out to 1,000 employees, and left to their own devices, the product will almost certainly underdeliver. Not because there's no product market fit, because most people don't yet know what to do with it. Someone has to sit with the teams, identify the use cases, and build the workflow automations that deliver outcomes. That's when adoption actually happens, and value gets delivered. This is the adoption gap. Calling it an implementation problem undersells it. What's actually missing is the ability to turn broad capability into real value. And the pattern goes well beyond AI platforms. You'll find it wherever a product's capability outruns its customer's ability to absorb it. The path to value hasn't been mapped yet. It's being discovered in the field. And discovering that path takes someone in the field with a different skill set, the forward deployed engineer. This role was invented at Palantir in the mid-2000s. And skeptics spent the next decade calling it glorified consulting. And the risk they saw is real. Let's compare the margin profiles. Software and AI companies make money from their product. Margins are high and they scale. Custom consultative work runs the other way. It can only scale with headcount, which means margins are lower. Do enough of bespoke implementation work, and the software company quietly becomes a consulting shop, and that erodes margins, which is why the loop matters. The FDE embeds inside one customer's environment and solves the workflow there, then brings what they learned back to engineering. The core product advances to solve the problems the field just discovered, and the next 10 customers get that solution out of the box. The economics look backwards at first. The first deployment can even lose money. But you're not selling seats, you're selling an outcome. So the contract grows, the product absorbs each deployment, and the margin climbs toward software. So a forward deployed engineer isn't valuable just because one customer succeeded. They're valuable when customer-specific friction turns into reusable product and deployment knowledge. Here's the best way to understand how forward deployment differs from standard implementation. Implementation scales a product that exists. Forward deployment discovers the product that should exist. So which companies should actually run forward deployed engineering? If you're a B2B software company, do you need it now? Or if you've built an AI native product, should you stand it up? For most companies, the answer is no. Only a small subset should. And only when 4 things are true at the same time. The first, a proven, extensible product. Forward deployment is not a substitute for product market fit, and it cannot rescue a broken core product. Also, the product should expose robust primitives, so your engineers extend what's already there instead of patching the core. Rocio Wu at F Prime puts a number on it. If more than 30 to 40% of your deployments still need significant FDE effort, the problem isn't go-to-market, it's product design. The second, is the account valuable enough? It has to be large enough to justify months of on-site engineering. FDEs are expensive. You don't put a $300,000 engineer on a $100,000 account and expect the math to work. The third, an adoption gap. The customer can't fully realize the value of the product on their own. Often, that's because there's no incumbent product to replace, no playbook to copy. And the fourth is execution. Can you hire the people the model requires? Not just strong engineers, a rare breed with a blend of skills. Customer empathy, a tolerance for ambiguity, and a startup founder's instinct for outcomes. Elite level talent like that is hard to hire. So those are your 4 conditions to make the FDE function work. Remove any one of them, and the failure is expensive. The forward deployed engineer has become the highest demand role in the AI era because it solves the adoption problem. The strategic logic is a trade. Margin now for moat later. So forward deployment is scaffolding, not architecture. For every problem it solves, the workflow should move into the product. Its job is temporary, by design, which means every successful FDE engagement has one final job: to make itself obsolete. And what it leaves behind is a reusable, scalable product.